Yeah, we get a fair chunk of resources for doing that, as well as, obviously, an attitude boost from, in this case, the Disciples of Anu, because it was their haven that we liberated. And it looks like it goes back to being a friendly haven, so that's good. And apparently we picked up a new assault rifle, I guess, from one of the Pandorans. I seem to remember one of the maniacs having it. It's called the Piranha AR-51, apparently a new Jericho rifle. Piercing. So it looks like it ignores 15 points of armor, which could be useful, but in the exchange is that it doesn't shred armor, and I think it does about the same amount of damage as the Bulldog. So, I mean, yeah, you get to ignore some of the armor for those rounds, but you're not shredding the armor to make it easier for the rest of your squad. And corruption node autopsy, we'll get to it at some point. Honestly, the autopsies tend to lead to interesting things, and even if it just increases the amount of damage we do to it, that might be useful. So it can go after those, but just before the Pandoran Citadel research. We could pick a new class for Barnabas. What would our options be? Heavy Assault and Sniper, of course, we already have. Those are the three we started with. Berserker, Priest, and Infiltrator. Those are the extra ones that we have unlocked. And since the game refuses to tell me what each of these do, and I don't want to look it up on an outside source because that's going to show me, like, what classes haven't I unlocked? I don't want to know that. So I'm just going to make a save here, and I'm going to look through what they do. I'm going to unlock them and then reload and pick the one I want, because the game's interface for this absolutely sucks. If I've unlocked these classes, I should be able to know what they do without having to commit a unit to learning it. Especially since that appears to be a permanent selection. Okay, so yeah, Heavy Assault and Sniper, we already know what they do. Priest, we already know what it does. What about Berserker? Okay, proficiency with melee weapons and handguns. So for him, it would only gain him handgun proficiency. And granted, it means he could carry a paralysis pistol or a hand cannon, but those are still extremely short range. And that's his big problem, is he's short range. Next attack deals additional 30 shred damage. 3 will points for it, though. Okay, I will ask, like, 30 additional shred damage, if he used that with the Iconoclast, would that be 30 shred per bullet? Or 30 shred total? Because if it's per bullet, that would turn into like a 300 shred attack. That's like all armor now gone. Close quarters evade. Attacks from enemies within 10 tiles deal 25% less damage. That might save him in a pinch. Bloodlust. Damage and speed are increased proportional to the hit points lost, up to plus 50%. Again, could save him in a pinch, but I don't like my soldiers being at like less than 3/4 of their hit points, so I don't imagine it's going to come into play that often. Ignore pain. Disabled body parts remain functional. Cannot panic or be mind controlled. Could be good. Although, if I start getting mutations that allow for regen, and I'm pretty sure you can get those, then disabled body parts become less of a problem. And immunity to panic and mind control is already at least somewhat accomplished by the priest class for the whole party. Adrenaline rush. All abilities cost a maximum of 1 action point until the end of the turn. Next turn, you will be dazed. Will point abilities cannot be used until the end of your turn. Like, there's some useful stuff in here. Honestly, mostly the shred damage and how useful that is really depends on if it's per attack, like per bullet, or if the whole attack does an extra 30. Not super duper keen on it. Really depend on if it's per attack or not, and I'm not certain I'm willing to commit to someone having it to go test it, especially since it's the only ability in that whole tree that could be really, really good. That I don't have like some other way of achieving the same thing, but better. Let's try Infiltrator. What can they do? Proficiency with crossbows and spider drones. Baseline stealth factor is 25% as long as the character isn't revealed. I don't know what that means. But, I mean, I assume it does something to make them better at stealth, but I don't know what that means. The proficiency with crossbows and spider drones is kind of cool, though. Surprise attack. Attacks from behind gain shock value equal to 3 times the damage dealt. That's how they were doing. They were dazing enemies. That's kind of cool. It might be tricky to set up, and it depends on how picky the game is about what counts as being behind the enemy or not, but could be cool. Deploy decoy. Deploy holographic decoy at the chosen location. The decoy is treated as a real target by all enemies. That could save your butt. Spider drone pack. Deploy 3 spider drones with 1 action. Of course, I'd need to go unlock spider drones. I think I do at least have crossbows, and I even have the potential to get the poison crossbows. So if I wanted to, I could at least get that part of their kit. Vanish. Move within 5 tiles and disappear from view for the next turn or until spotted. Again, could save your butt in a bad situation. Sneak attack. Damage dealt while not spotted is increased by 50%. Okay. If I understood how the stealth mechanics worked a little bit better, I could definitely see these guys being good. Honestly, even just for like surprise attack and vanish and potentially the crossbow proficiency, that could be interesting. Because my only other idea for him is, maybe sniper. Because, he would get proficiency with sniper rifles and handguns, which would give him a longer range option. And the option to take the paralysis pistol if I wanted him to. The Overwatch cost reduction's nice. Quick aim has definitely saved our butts a few times. Master Marksman probably wouldn't be a big thing for Barnabas. Enemies are usually in his face. Weak spot's nice, though. So probably either that or... I don't think I would go heavy. The only thing that you really get with heavy is, I think their heavy armor, like the jet jump. Yeah, the jetpack proficiency is its own thing. They do get that jetpack proficiency, which is nice. And Warcry is nice. But honestly, outside of that, I just don't really care for them. They already have a priest. So yeah, and then of course Assault, which that team doesn't have one of at all. He gets assault rifles, he already has shotguns, so it would just be the assault rifles. Return fire is great when it works, and horrible when it's used against me, but it just seems like a lot of the times it doesn't want to trigger probably, like, I need to make their perception range higher. That would probably help. Might be worth giving them that perception head mutation, actually, even though the armor isn't as good. And then ready for action is the other big thing, is, you know, they can do inventory actions very, very quickly, which I do admit seems like it would combine well with some of Barnabas's existing abilities, like fast use, especially if we could get him stim packs and robotic arms and all that. Like, him being able to use those quickly and shuffle them around his inventory for free could be useful. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to give him Assault, but I might give someone else on the team Infiltrator. Possibly the snipers, Eileen and Alfred, might look into giving them the Infiltrator class, because it seems like they'd be the easiest ones to set up, like, back attacks, get the biggest boost from the damage increase. Probably be the easiest to keep them out of sight, too. And Eileen actually has Thief, too, that she could take to make being in stealth easier. I think for Eileen, at the very least, it might actually work pretty well. However, now that we've seen what those classes do, gonna actually pick one for him and stick with it this time, and we're gonna give him Assault training. Which I'm debating whether to give him Ready for Action, even though it would cost a lot of the Phoenix SP. Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's what it exists. It's there to be used. Okay. So now inventory actions are free for him. Just gonna sort that because it's bugging me. And I think I might actually have him just carry a third medkit. Or actually, no. I think... because he can just pull that melee weapon out of his backpack whenever he needs it. And now he can carry an assault rifle. And I want to say that we made a laser rifle. So there, that will give him a lot more flexibility in combat just from that. And now inventory actions are free for him, so if he needs to hit something with a hammer, he can pull that out of his backpack easily. If he needs to use a medkit on someone, he can do that pretty easily. Should work for him pretty well. Honestly, considering dropping the hammer and carrying an extra medkit, though, because medkits are actually better when they're used by him. And, you know, it's easier for him to use them. He's just going to carry 3 medkits, and apparently the ammo is just going to get shuffled around no matter what I do, so there, it's fine. But yeah, he's the team's medic. Still going to have people carrying some medkits of their own, but he'll be carrying some extras. Any of the recruits any good? Biochemist, farsighted, self-defense specialist. Yeah, okay, he's pretty solid. Put him in the Greenland base. We have enough resources to potentially activate a new base. I'm just trying to decide if there are any that we should prioritize. Like maybe that one, because mist is starting to go down that way. Or this one, although like there are 2 spots of mist near it. But they're both further away from it. They haven't like completely encroached on it yet. This one could definitely be useful, but we'd need to explore a little further south, and this could maybe unlock some more exploration sites for that. Yeah, we'd have to clear out like infestations from those. I'm trying to get the bases where we wouldn't have to clear an infestation yet activated. Which pretty much means either this one or this one. And this one's under a bit more threat from the mist, I think. How much would it cost to activate? A decent chunk, but it's doable. Prepare the access lift, and the energy generator, and the fabrication plant, and the vehicle bay. And build a satellite uplink. The gift is currently trading with the last base that we're going to be able to trade with for a bit. And then they're probably going to go to the Symes retreat. B team should probably take a bit of a break. So they're going to go up here.
Research complete.
Pandoran goo, an analysis of a substance referred to as goo by our field team and laboratory scientists, has found it to be a mutated form of the Colbacter crescentius bacterium. The bacterium has adhesive properties and thrives in wet spaces, although it does react negatively to oxygen. Experiments have shown that exposed to air, the substance dies in a matter of moments, rendering the goo harmless. Okay, you guys are going to go turn that mission in. Hopefully. Yeah, move. And you guys are just going to rest for a bit. We agreed to get you the brain implant, and so we're going to give it to you. New Jericho is slightly irritated. Don't really care. We got quite a lot of stuff. I'm gonna need them to go intercept that flyer.
Research complete.
Yep, acid worm autopsy. Nothing new to it, really. And these weapons effectively have psychic guidance because of this module, so we can't really dodge them. Disengaging. They unfortunately managed to take out one of my weapons. Where's our nearest base? Probably main base, of course.
Research complete.
Scylla autopsy. The Scylla is something like a Pandoran battleship, with multiple weapons and defense systems and critical command and control abilities. It is certainly highly intelligent and seems to be responsible for the increasing strength of Pandoran attacks on havens. Many of its mutations seem to be oriented towards abduction of human populations rather than outright massacre. It is absolutely essential that we capture a live specimen, even though it will be an extremely dangerous task. Okay, I wasn't aware we even could capture that thing. Honestly, it might be better if we could get one on a Haven defense mission where we wouldn't have things constantly spawning in on top of us while attempting to capture it. But we'll see. Okay, apparently there's a new grenade launcher that we could try. I'll put it in the list, but it's not a super high priority. I just am not very impressed with the grenades we're already using, so...
The New Jericho Haven is under attack.
Okay, where is it? Oh boy. Okay, B team, you're closer. So... And you're most of the way healed. Go try to help them out. Please get there before they die. Okay, if we can get that last weapon of theirs out, then at that point all we have to do is destroy the ship. Okay, yep. Just stay here until they're destroyed. So they don't have any flyers now. They do, of course, still have that base there, and we're going to need to fix that. But that's a tricky mission, and A-Team has, like, some other missions here they really ought to be doing. Also, we're about to get the corruption node autopsy done, and there's a chance that that might maybe increase the damage I do to corruption nodes. A lot of the autopsies have done that. So we're going to go do another mission and come back once that autopsy's done. Let's finally get on the Symes retreat. We really ought to do that. And Pandoran intelligence report. Yay. An even thicker shield bearer because they needed even more armor. Okay, apparently this one can do some close range attacks. That might be bad. We'll have to see how that goes. Our operatives have reached Randolph Symes III's private retreat, where we may be able to find additional information that may help us decipher his notes and make sense of his activities. However, our scans indicate enemy presence in the area, because of course there is. Okay, so we need to obtain a journal. And it's up top. Heavies.
Let's do it. Proceeding.
Arthron Myrmidon Prime. So they're going to have to deal with that while Glacier hopefully gets the journal.
Taking aim.
I want to say, yeah, he has a launcher arm. But if we take that out, then he'll only be a melee unit. There we go.
On the move. Sure thing.
That's honestly not going to do as much as I would hope. And the Bulldog, it's probably a little too far away. Yeah, honestly, probably better off just picking it all at it with the snipers for now and waiting for it to get a bit closer. Can you shoot through the tree? Yes.
Like target practice.
I don't want you to be quite that close to it if your damage on it isn't going to be super great, so...
On Overwatch. Let them come.
I'm on the move. Area covered.
Okay, Glacier. Hurry up with that journal.
Be right there.
Alright, now it says secure it, so we do have to kill everything. Of course we do. Of course.
Hostile eliminated. Permanently.
Doesn't look like he can pain Chameleon.
Easy enough.
Finger on the trigger.
Okay, the game really can't decide if I'm allowed to shoot through these frickin' trees or not. Like, I was, and now I'm not.
Hostile destroyed.
Advancing.
Oh, of course. Of course there was a random mind fragger somewhere. Okay, Serana. Get yourself up. Valeria, whichever one of you. Oh, great. So it used a frickin' action point. Because I swapped which one of you was... Oh, good frickin' lord. Okay, thank you, Lazy.
Here I am, let's do this! That was a good...
Okay, got the other mind fragger out before that became a problem.
Acquiring targets.
Okay, you managed to disable its arms, so that should really limit what it can do. That's the good news. And unfortunately, due to wasting an action point, that did not need to be wasted because I thought I had the friggin' assault selected, which doesn't need to use action points for inventory actions. That's who I thought I had selected, and that was not the case. So I'm not going to be able to get her entirely out of the way.
Sure thing.
Okay, you disabled its head. That's good enough. Trying to remember if I heard something crawling around back behind, and just in case I did, keep an eye on that. Okay, glad he missed. Oh boy. And this is one of the times you don't like to return fire, but luckily it mostly hit the mind fragger on his head.
I need some help, please!
Downside to people mostly using paralysis pistols now, it's a little trickier when we need to take a mind fragger off of someone's head.
Take that!
Serana. And yes, I'm in control of Serana this time. Thank you, game. Take that med kit. So use it on yourself despite the bleed damage because you're missing more health. Also because I'm probably going to be leaving you in the line of fire. Hey, sorry about this, Glacier. You're probably going to take some freaking damage. Funny enough, she managed to actually only hit with one bullet, which in this case was a good thing. I really really don't care all that much about the ghoul. Viral damage isn't great, but it's survivable. Much rather get the hitman or the maniac. Westfall, move over here. Make room for other people.
Looks dangerous.
Really, it's actually making you safer, so... Oh, great. Now you're not wanting to aim properly. That's just wonderful. Okay, fine. Go further around.
On the move. Let's have a look.
Oh, great. You're not wanting to step out and aim either. Okay, now you will.
Overwatching.
Oh, how did you miss? I'm glad you missed, but...
I'm bleeding!
Okay.
Taking aim.
Once again, only has a line of sight on the ghoul.
Come get some!
You only have a line of sight on the mind fragger, which, with its head disabled, is completely a non-issue.
Identifying that.
Okay, hitmen, go bye-bye.
That's the key.
If he were in range of these two, I'd have him war cry, but that unfortunately is not the case.
Insights.
Serrano, you're gonna fire once and then move away. This gonna heal you.
I'm
Going to
prepared.
heal you up, hopefully, if the game feels like doing that. Thank you.
It's hard to shoot like this.
Like a lucky shot.
What the? Hope I don't miss.
Nope, apparently not. Kind of curious if we can capture those.
Ready to fire. How does that taste?
It may bleed to death. Depends on how the regeneration decides to play it.
Here we go. No!
On the move. This can't be real.
Yep, there's the panic as viral damage. That's fine.
Just give the word.
Down to just this one.
Identifying target.
And yeah, I suppose this one is technically still alive. Again, curious if we can capture it, so... Yes, we can, but the game didn't say that we'd won, so I don't know if it's because it's specific to that mission or it's because you can't do a vivisection on them. Or maybe the paralysis value needs to be over their max and not equal to it. I don't know. But, you know, we couldn't shoot it a second time without killing it, so here we are.
As the world fell apart around us, it was difficult not to feel guilty. Some chose to be proactive and fight, but not me. I came here instead. My best weapon is my mind, and I need silence to put it to work. The history of the Phoenix Project is a complex tapestry. In Russia, Turkey, Britain, Spain, not one unbroken lineage, but a tangle of organizations, each passing the torch to the next with only one goal: to protect the human race. But protect it from what? Did they know about the Pandora virus? And if so, how? The answers are out there. So much has been investigated and collected and analyzed, but it's all scattered, lost. I don't know if it's possible to track it all down, but I have to try. There's only one thing I'm sure of. I can't stay here anymore.
Our operatives have retrieved a big batch of documents from the Symes retreat. These should allow us to better understand what Symes was doing and what he discovered. We have identified 3 key sites that Symes singled out as particularly relevant to his research into the history of the Phoenix Project and the previous outbreaks of unusual diseases. It is imperative that we send operatives to investigate these sites as soon as the strategic situation allows. Okay, so there's 3 more missions.